In previous videos, we covered how you can run map reduces and layer-to-layer mappings on spatial data using Ellipsis Map Engine. Each time we created a remote environment on Map Engine that we then executed a Python function on. But what if the Python code is dependent on non-spatial data stored on disk? How do we get this non-spatial data to the function? For example, what if the Python function needs to read a deep learning model for it to execute? This is what we will demonstrate in this short video tutorial. As per usual, we start by importing the Ellipsis package and obtaining a token. Both are needed in order to task Map Engine. Now let's assume we wish to segment some Sentinel-2 imagery, assigning each pixel to a land use class. To this end, we uploaded this Sentinel-2 asset to Ellipsis Drive as a layer. The layer has the following path and timestamp IDs that we can use to reference this data on Ellipsis Drive. These can be found in the Integrate dialog. Having our source data on Ellipsis Drive, we still need to submit our model. In this case, we have a Keras model that we wish to execute. For Map Engine to be able to read the model, we need to upload it to Ellipsis Drive as a file, similar in the way in which we uploaded our Sentinel-2 data asset in the drive as a layer. Check out our previous video on how to create a file containing a Keras model. After upload, I click the context menu and copy the IDs. I can use this ID to reference the model within Map Engine. Now with both the source data and the model available on Ellipsis Drive, I can start using them within the function I look to execute on Map Engine. The function I'll be executing takes as its input a dictionary that contains both the model and a slice of Sentinel-2 data as an NP array. This function will then execute the model on a given slice of source data and return the resulting segmentation as an in-memory GeoTIFF file. This function is ready to be executed on Map Engine because of three reasons. One, its input is compatible with how Ellipsis Map Engine will pass the model and the data to the function. Two, it is not dependent on data other than its input. And three, it returns a memory file that can be written to a new Ellipsis Drive layer. The last thing we need to do now, before we can execute our segmentation, is to create an environment on Ellipsis Map Engine on which we can execute the function above. To this end, we need to state the Python version, needed packages, number of compute nodes we wish to commit, and, most importantly, the IDs of the layers and files we wish to receive as input for the function. We have set up the remote environment and received a compute ID to reference this environment with. We are now ready to run our function. But before I do, I create a layer on Ellipsis Drive to write the resulting segmentation to. I can do this via the UI or via script. Let's use script. We can now execute the segmentation function and write the result to the layer we just created. Since the result has been written to an Ellipsis Drive layer, we can now visually inspect the layer in the viewer and/or get it downloaded. If needed, we can update our function and rerun it on our environment. If this is not needed, we can simply terminate the server and release all the compute nodes that we're using. Conclusion, by uploading files to Ellipsis Drive, we can use non-spatial inputs for the functions we are executing on Map Engine. That's it. See you in the next one.